Aren't you supposed to be checking on my car insurance, Mr. Gecko? Okay, so welcome to my backyard, my aquaponics. So today we're going to make a new one of these, and we're going to take this one and move it over, because there's another one right there which probably is in the shot, which we're going to connect to. We're going to remove the light, move this over here, take the new one of these, put it over there, and interconnect it. Right now, a flaw I've noticed, so the water line comes down and it tees and goes into each one separate. I thought it was a good idea to have each one separate, and then on the drain they Y back, so it comes out as a Y and Y's back in. But I've discovered that I'm having issues every 6 months to a year with one of the tubes having an issue and me not catching it because the water still flows. So I'm going to make it just go from one to the next, and then increase the speed of the water so that it won't clog. And then if it does have an issue, it'll be more dramatic, and I'll know, because either the system will be out of water or there'll be something to notice that something ain't right. Because yeah, so let's go ahead and do that. So for my project, I'm using ordinary fence posts. This is an 8-foot piece. It's a 4x4 size, and there's little end caps. So nice that it comes wrapped. Yeah, I didn't think it would need to. But okay, so before we do too much, these things are kind of thin, and they're going to sit in the sunlight, and the roots don't like sunlight. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to paint it black to prevent the light from leaking into it, and then we're going to paint it white so it kind of looks how it looks now. Now, I don't care how well I paint it. It does. Usually I just do a little crummy job. The goal is to paint it black so that the light doesn't leak in. I paint it back white so it's not like a heat absorber, and it'll kind of match the other ones, which are, I'll show you. See, these were all painted black and then painted white, and that prevents the light from the sun going in and affecting the growth of the roots, because this is like maybe 1/8 of an inch thick vinyl. Okay. Black. I'll give it a moment for that to dry, and then paint it back white. Okay, so we're going to let that cure a little bit, and what we're going to do is measure our spacing for our holes. Now, the reason why I like these square ones is because the net pots fit in perfectly. So we're just going to mirror the spacing that was done on the other two, and we'll mark it and we'll drill it out. Okay, so first 1/2 inch for the cap, and 2 inch for the access to the drain that's going to come in and out. So then we're going to go out another 2 inches, so that's 4 inches out, and then the center of that will be 1.5 inches out. So the first hole we'll just say, we'll just start at 6, and then we'll do a mark every 6 inches, and that'll be the center for each dot. Now, for some reason, I don't like these sitting in the tank, so they sit on the outside, just preventing water from leaking. It's that easy. Boom. Now we'll glue on the caps. That'll take many hours to dry. For gluing on the caps, I use aquarium safe. Very important, aquarium safe, because why? We've got fish. Alright, so this is the last time this is going to be like this. I took the light off already because this tube is going to go there, and the new tube is going to go here-ish area. And going to redo all the plumbing instead of it coming out to a Y to a T. And here's the new pipe. It's been painted black and painted back to white. It's been drilled. It's got the fittings on the bottom with the little rubber O-rings. It's been gasketized, and so needed to give the silicone several hours to dry, which is probably the biggest disadvantage to using silicone versus just using the PVC cement. Didn't think of that, but the PVC cement won't give way, and the silicone will actually give way if needed, which I've needed it once. So, okay, so that's down, and I'm going to move that. So what's without a few bloopers? Now, this gives me some stupid ideas, like I should probably zigzag something around the pond, but that's okay. This thing was filled with sludge, and I lifted it up when it was full of water, and it wasn't terribly heavy, but it sloshed, and then it really sloshed, and look at all the mud that shot out of it. Oh my god. The plants here are probably going to grow like crazy now, but I was not expecting it. Yeah, that just shot out. Some of it went back into the pond, which is too bad, but it'll be what it'll be. But yeah, there's a blooper for you. One of these things is not the same. So, I originally measured them to be the same height at the bottom, but I need to measure them to be the same height at the top. So I'm going to have to take that one down and do it, or I have to plan that that tube is going to have a higher water level than that tube, since this tube is the deciding factor on the water. Okay, so here we are. It's up. I used a laser leveler to be sure the tops were the same. I wasn't paying attention when I went to the store. This one is a 4" by 8. The others are 5", so they're more deep. So I had to raise it up. But we're level there. I put this on the middle here. This is level here. Zip over here. We're level. So we should be able to have the same water height in the baskets. When the baskets come in, the goal is to have it submerged to around this first notch and then have it drain down. So the reason why I like to do mine to drain is so I don't get mosquitoes, and I'll explain that when we get to that part. This is the old water feed, and we need to have that just zigzag up into there. So that's gonna be pretty easy. We'll just cheat and elbow straight, elbow up. Alright, so this is the old bell siphon, so I put a new one on. And so how the bell siphon works is there's a bushing piece and a tube that goes all the way through. So see, here's the bushing piece. You look inside, the tube goes all the way through, and at the top you put a cap, and then it just goes down. So yeah, the new one is in place. It actually works good. The bigger size allows for higher flow, which I'm going to assume is my issue was I was running low flow. The newest tube is installed here. I did some bad math because the tube is smaller, so now it's temporarily shimmed. And I might leave it like that. I might unscrew and rescrew the L brackets for a cleaner look. Need to get more lava rocks. Not sure what I'm going to put over here. The original plan was to put lettuce and bok choy and whatever will not die. For some reason these peppers are doing really good in these grow tubes, so we're going to add more peppers. And since the strawberries are doing really good in the buckets, we will add more buckets. So we will not fight the system, even though I just made a major change, so this might take 60 to 90 days to know if it was a good change or not. But yeah. How's my car insurance, buddy? Are we all good? So normally we don't get these really pretty green ones. Normally I get these gray and beige leopard striped ones. Look at that. Did that just happen? Hey, look at all the creatures in my yard. Oh my god. But back to this guy. He's badass, dude. Okay, so I did not explain the bell siphon yet. So this is the bell. Inside there's a tube that runs through the external T. Oh look, it's sweating. It's got a leak in it. I'm awesome. Okay, so squirrel moment. So we'll show on that. Now this over here, this is not needed. What it should just be is this just comes down and this drains back to them. Oh. Let's try. Alright, something I did not explain. Okay, so here's the fitting that goes in here. Actually, they're going top down. The other fitting is this one, which is longer. I cut them. So I took the little sawzall and I cut it so that it sits as flush as possible so that all the water goes out. The whole advantage of this is to aerate the whole thing and have the water cycle through. So now the water drains all the way down, and there you can see the difference in that and that if I didn't explain it before. With it like this, the water level stayed only moved maybe 6 to 8 millimeters, and now it moves, you know, the good 45 millimeter water depth. So now it really cycles. More water drains out, which is hopefully the higher flow will reduce some of the sediment. I couldn't believe how much sediment I had in there. Now mind you, that tube had been sitting there 18-19 months collecting sediment, and not all the time did I have a filter. Now I have a mechanical filter filtering the water that goes into those tubes. So ouch, slippers. There you go.